Mob Entertainment is making a new game? Okay, guys, something really interesting is happening with Mob Entertainment. If you've been following the recent news, you probably noticed that Mob Entertainment recently changed their logo and then uploaded a mysterious short. At first, I thought it was just some random announcement or maybe something related to Poppy Playtime. But then things got much more interesting. In my previous video, I told you guys about the logo change and the mysterious short. And after that, I decided to look deeper into what MOB Entertainment was actually working on. So I went over to the MOB Entertainment Discord to see if there were any clues. And apparently, we could be getting a brand new game. The game is called Experiment 82626. And from the information that has been shared so far, this doesn't look like another normal Poppy Playtime update. It appears to be a completely different project. Now here's where things get interesting. From what we've seen, Experiment 82626 appears to be a multiplayer horror game, which immediately reminds a lot of people of Project Playtime. If you don't know, Project Playtime was Mob Entertainment's multiplayer horror game where players had to work together while trying to survive against dangerous toys. So naturally, when people heard that Experiment 82626 could also be multiplayer, everyone started asking, is this basically the new Project Playtime? Well, we don't know for sure yet, but there are already some interesting things to talk about. We've seen screenshots connected to the new project, and honestly, the visuals look very different. The game appears to have a much more realistic style compared to what we're used to seeing from Poppy Playtime. The environments look darker, more detailed, and much more realistic. And that's making people even more curious about what MOB Entertainment is planning. Because think about it, MOB Entertainment already has the Poppy Playtime universe. They've created characters, monsters, puzzles, and a huge story around Playtime Company. But now they're apparently working on something completely different. So why? Could MOB Entertainment be trying to create another major horror franchise? Could Experiment 82626 become their next big multiplayer game? Or could this somehow be connected to something we already know? Right now, there are still a lot of unanswered questions. We don't know exactly what the gameplay will be like. We don't know how many players will be able to play together. We don't know what the monsters or enemies will look like. And we don't even know when the game is going to release. But the fact that we're already seeing screenshots and information about the project is definitely interesting. And honestly, I'm excited to see what MOB Entertainment does with it. However, there's something we have to talk about. Project Playtime. Because if MOB Entertainment really is making another multiplayer horror game, then I can't help but ask, what about Project Playtime? Project Playtime had a lot of potential. The concept was really fun, and having players work together while being hunted by different monsters was such a cool idea. But the game has had a pretty complicated journey, and now that MOB Entertainment might be focusing on a completely new multiplayer project, some fans are wondering what this means for Project Playtime. Is Experiment 82626 going to replace it? Is Moby Entertainment moving on from Project Playtime? Or could both games continue separately? We simply don't know yet. And I think that's one of the biggest questions fans are going to have. Because imagine if Experiment 82626 becomes the new multiplayer horror game that Mob Entertainment focuses on. That could mean Project Playtime gets pushed even further into the background. And honestly, justice for Project Playtime. But at the same time, I don't want to judge Experiment 82626 before we've actually seen the full game. If Moby Entertainment can take what worked in Project Playtime and improve it, while also adding a completely new concept, this could actually be something really interesting. The realistic graphics alone have already caught people's attention. And if the gameplay is just as good as the visuals, we could have a seriously good multiplayer horror game on our hands. But there's another thing that makes this mysterious. Why did MOB Entertainment suddenly change their logo? Why did they upload that mysterious short? And why are we now hearing about a game called Experiment 82626? Could all of these things be connected? Maybe the logo change was the beginning of a new era for MOB Entertainment. Maybe they're preparing to reveal more information about their upcoming projects. Or maybe there's an even bigger announcement coming that we don't know about yet. For now, though, we have to wait for MOB Entertainment to officially reveal more. So what do you think? Do you think Experiment 82626 is going to become the next big multiplayer horror game? Do you think it will replace Project Playtime? Or do you think MOB Entertainment should continue supporting Project
Hey, bro, you got a phone call.